So I saw this in the theater tonight. It was me and two other couples. About 20 minutes in, one couple got up and left. About 10 minutes later, the other couple got up and left. So by the end of this movie, it was just me, and I wondered, how would these couples react to having a baby after watching this movie? Immaculate stars Sydney Sweeney and is about a woman devout of faith is warmly welcomed to the picture-perfect Italian countryside where she is offered a new role, but it becomes clear that her new home harbors dark and horrifying secrets. We got a brand new horror movie for 2024, and we got one of the biggest stars on the planet, Sydney Sweeney, starring in this movie. And I'll be honest, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I heard a story. Sydney Sweeney auditioned for this role back in 2014, and then nothing came about it. And then Sydney Sweeney, who produced this movie, said, I want this made. I want to star in it. I'm going to go get a director, a studio. And here we are. So good on her. And that alone made me intrigued of like, okay, let's see what you bring us. It's obviously got to be good that you want it to be made. I can say this. This movie has intriguing ideas and intriguing thoughts that could really come out negative for a lot of people that follow religion. And if you're a nun out there, you're gonna hate this movie because my goodness. Now, this is not the first time we've seen horror and religion come together. I mean, there's tons of horror movies that do that. And so with this movie, we have Sydney Sweeney as a soon-to-be future nun, basically, coming to this, like, school of some sorts, or place where you train to be one. I don't know, I might be saying that wrong. But basically, she ends up pregnant from a miracle. Like, hey, I'm pregnant. How? Don't want to spoil it. And this place is very weird. So, let me start with the biggest positive. Sydney Sweeney, like I said, one of the biggest stars on the planet right now. She's tremendously gorgeous. As a dude, I'm gonna admit that, obviously. But Season 2 of Euphoria really showed me that, like, wow, she's an actress. And this movie, she really showed more, and I gotta give it up to her. She kills it. She is, like, the reason to see this movie. She gives a great performance. One scene at the very end that is truly, like, hard for an actor to do, and she killed it. I mean, literally, just good job, Sydney Sweeney. I cannot wait to see what you do next in your career. And the directing, I will say, is very spooky. And that's the good thing for this movie. It's a horror movie. It's got a great setting. Like the production design, the costuming, the cinematography with the lighting, it all really adds up to a really well-made movie. There's maybe a few CGI fire moments that aren't the greatest, but like, you know, it probably wasn't a big budget movie. It was from Neon. And I just found myself enthralled with how the movie looked and was made, especially the score. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to the story, me, honestly, I've never found an intrigue in religion, especially when it comes to, like, horror movies and as the complete focus of. And when they're trying to say a lot, sometimes the movie can feel like, hey, nuns, religion. This storyline, which I don't want to spoil, but it can infuriate people who very much follow religion of some sorts. And this movie can do that. For me, I was just kind of bored, honestly, and it's a very slow-paced movie. It's not a, like I could see people, like, saying, oh, Sydney Sweeney horror movie, let's go see it, but it's a slow-paced one, which I have no problem with, but, like, I never was really intrigued with any character. I wanted Sydney Sweeney to win because she's being put in a situation that she obviously didn't want to end up happening to her. So that was the only, like, follow through I could have through this entire movie. Everything else was kind of like, what was your character's name? Who are you? And they're all wearing nun hats. So I'm like, who is who? Who are you? Where did you come from? Cotton Not Joe. But I just found myself just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay. Then the ending happens. This is gonna, oh boy, I can't spoil it. It's literally the last few minutes of this movie. It's gonna be the talk of the town. If you see this movie, that's gonna be the moment you talk about. And it's controversial. I can just guarantee you that. Me personally, I was like, you did it, movie. You went for it. And you went for an ending that, like, definitely was going to leave you walking out there like, oh boy, do I ever want to have a baby, basically. And this movie does have an ending that you could really walk away saying this movie ruined a certain ethnic of how things could be done. I don't know. It's that controversial. I could see it being a talk of the town for this movie. But it is a small movie, so we'll see how many people actually see it and talk about it. Anyways, Sydney Sweeney's great. The movie's made well. In the end, I was bored and didn't really care enough about anyone in the movie that when I walked out of the movie, I was like, all right, what's next? I'm going to give Immaculate a C. I'm definitely intrigued to see your guys' opinions about this movie. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about it. Don't get all angry with me. I don't care. It's just a movie. It's a made-up story. But you're going to talk about that ending, especially if you've seen it. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoy this review. See you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.